lane assignments for this first of two heats.
It's going to be the same for the men and the women, and it's really kicking off the weekend with some momentum in regards to starting off with a chipper that's pretty well-rounded. We're touching on a mix of modalities, and then for a lot of these young competitors and even the athletes who are returning but want to move their way up, it's all about proving that they belong, and we're certainly going to really get a nice see where they fall after Nessie.
Emma Tall and Danny Spiegel going through those 160 waiting for the women. So keep that in mind as we work our way through this event. Haley Adams in the middle of the all yellow at the far end of the floor.
Yeah, and right there in the front stage center, Paige Reynolds right here in the black top, will put on display throughout the course of this competition as a whole. She's had recent success at the Crash Crucible. She's rebuilding herself. She did the Mayhem in regards to qualifying, or not qualifying, but a qualifier in this last season where she was getting back on the horse of competition. Couple deep breaths here, regaining her composure. A lot of these women, if they watch the previous men heats, understand they can lose a little bit of time here in order to sacrifice keeping their composure and building confidence and momentum through this workout. People that are watching this at home, you know, you mess up your double unders a couple times, you want to chuck that thing across the room, and they're doing their best to just maintain in their own mind here.
Grace Walton and Olivia Kerstetter, the first two women in the handstand walk. Emma Tall sits in third, Fuliano and Rogers also on this 80-meter handstand walk, so 2 total laps, 4 lengths. Walton and Kerstetter making the turning. They are dead even right now. Walton making her first appearance here at the Rogue Invitational. Olivia Kerstetter continues and is now in the lead.
Yeah, we talked about it being a place where we know Haley Adams, that's not a strength of hers, as we see her pretty high and erratic jumps finish up there. It's not a place where you can lose that much time and still hope for a good finish. Hopefully she can make some of it up here on the handstand walk.
Well, Walton and Rogers are now towards the front. In the lead. Apartment has Haley. This will be her final trip back, taking a break. Grace Walton behind her, and Olivia Kerstetter is in third place. There's Lucy Campbell, runner-up at the CrossFit Games, getting set to make the final turn back.
Had some great handstand walking moments at the CrossFit Games this year, going head-to-head with the GOAT, Tia Claire Toomey.
Lucy Campbell really happy to be competing here at the Rogue Invitational. Her father is Scottish, as Paige Rogers is now under the GHDs. And if you don't sleep, so this shouldn't be a problem.
That's right.
60 reps here for Powers, or for Rogers, pardon me. Still getting used to the name change as well.
That's right. Yeah, it might take us a few reps. Paige doing a great job putting on her raw capacity there. She is one of the more recent mothers in our sport, recovering from pregnancy, restructuring and rebuilding the foundation of midline stabilization and all the things fitness that are going to be demanded of her at the Rogue Invitational.
Lucy Campbell is now in third place. Danny Spiegel sits in fourth, and Olivia Kerstetter has moved into fifth place. As now Emma Tall is done. Elisa Fuliano onto the GHDs as well. 60 total reps here. At the 72 rep mark, they'll move to the box for the 40 box jump overs. And Paige Rogers continues to lead. She's through now 40 of the 129 total repetitions. She's got now less than 30 to go on the GHDs.
We talk about how potent GHDs are a lot. The unique thing is the faster that you sit up, Sean, the harder you have to brace your abdominals. So it's a little give and a little take there. Do you want maximum speed? Yes, you do. Of course, you want to be first off this thing if you can, but also you're going to be building fatigue a little bit differently than everybody else the faster you go.
Rogers now with 20 reps to go.
Only prove that it matters with how they execute on that log, which is looming after these next box jump overs.
Rogers is done, and now 40 box jump overs.
Paige, one of those athletes that's going to be eyeing to get herself into that second heat on the field.
Grace Walton is on to the box jump overs and chalking her hands while she does those opening reps, because that log is after these 40 reps. Kerstetter has started her set of 40. Emma Tall and now Lucy Campbell onto the box as well. So the 112 rep mark is when they are done with this portion of the event, and then it's just those 16 reps on the log remaining. Rogers has about 12 reps remaining.
On those log muscle-ups, they want to remain efficient, as we see Lucy Campbell chipping away here. Elisa Fuliano there in the back as well.
The final rep for Rogers, and she'll be first to the log. 16 reps here. Walton and Campbell and Kerstetter all in a tight battle for second place behind Rogers. Rogers going with those quick singles. Walton's done. She's working her way to the log.
We've watched these quick singles be a big payoff for the experienced athletes in the field, especially those that can time the recovery just right. Gracie Walton showing that she's in no hurry to get up onto that log.
Now Lucy Campbell's moved into third place along with Emma Tall. Here comes Olivia Kerstetter done with the box as well. The Tall, Kerstetter, and Campbell fighting for third place right now in the heat. Rogers continues to lead.
Paige does a great job at jumping slightly behind the log, allowing her momentum to slide forward or come underneath that thing and then kip directly over. It's smooth.
She's got 7 reps left now, 6 remaining.
Still looking quite effortless and consistent at this point with 5 left. This is where you got to have that internal clock and dialogue, Sean, on, hey, I got to get back up. I got to go faster. Too slow. Because, again, of the competitors that are just watching for that next heat.
Meanwhile, Emma Tall is winning the battle for second place with Campbell and Kerstetter. She's got a couple rep lead on those two. Rogers is on to her final rep. The Paige Rogers, welcome back to the Rogue Invitationals. He's going to pick up a heat win here in Nessie.
She didn't forget that buzzer.
9:32.60 seconds.
Ironically, Haley Adams just making her way to the log. Now, if this is a movement that she is comfortable with, she can still make up a tremendous amount of ground with the time remaining.
We saw Ricky Garrard do that with the men in that second heat. Tall now with 8.
When we talk about the kip for a bar muscle-up, people are used to being able to just swing their body however they want and trying to end up on top of that thing. With a log, it's different. You've got to remain a little bit more stiff in the bottom of your swing, otherwise your hands slip out of position.
Olivia Kerstetter right now in 5th place in the heat. She's through 120 of the 128 reps. So 8 remaining here for her. Grace Walton on the left side of your screen working. Alicia Fuliano has now moved into 2nd place in the heat. She's got 2 reps remaining. Kerstetter on the podium at the CrossFit Games this year. And there goes Elisa Fuliano. 2nd place in the heat. 11:38.86 seconds. Paige Rogers just assaulted this thing.
Yep. Yeah, and you love to see it because of the way that she executed that first part, Sean. We were like, hey, now we're going to have an opportunity to see if this work was for naught or if it was for reason, and she had plenty of reason to go fast because clearly she knew she would have success on that log.
I mean, we still have another heat, but that time from Rogers looks like it's going to be a pretty solid result for her to open up this competition. Now, Abby Domit is off. A 16-minute time cap here. Spiegel gets in at 12:32.63 seconds. Just can't get up and over that log.
Yeah, just you wonder why these athletes are just standing around. It's because of the effort that it takes to even attempt one of these things. You don't want to have to waste it. You want to make every opportunity count, and every time they rush, they're losing precious time. Got it.
There's Olivia Kerstetter closing things out. She'll take 6th place in the heat. With about 2.5 minutes remaining.
Log, you see her getting in it right now. When she puts those hands up there, that's a tremendous amount of strain on your grip strength.
And she has it. And Campbell is in. That's the last rep for Paige Semenza.
She gave it on the way up. Let's see if Haley can sneak one in.
Final couple seconds here, and Adams just can't. And that is going to be a formidable time for the athletes in heat number 2. Abigail Yomet will finish in 3rd. And it's Brandon will be working out of lane number 5. Laura Horvath, the 2-time road
this weekend.
Laura Horvath, the overwhelming favorite to win this competition. Time from Paige Rogers as we kick off the 2nd and final heat with the 160 double unders with that weighted rope. The first woman to 8 reps will then move on to that 80-meter handstand walk. 2 total
breaks. We see Gazan break there on the left. Remaining composed. This is all intentional so that she can make sure she's clean on the execution in the next handstand walk, even with the GHD sit-ups.
Gazan making her 3rd appearance in the Rogue Invitational. She's been top 5 here the last 2 years. Just missed out on a spot on the podium in with Kiki Dixon.
Sean, as you mentioned, this is Alex's first competition back since being injured in a car accident this past June. I had the opportunity to chat with her today, and she told me she feels healthy and can do everything without pain, but it is her squatting that's coming back the slowest. The biggest shift has been her perspective. She says she typically feels pressure, that she either podiums or it's a bust. But now she's just so happy to be here, and maybe that shift in perspective will pay off in performance. I say, come what may, Alex, we're just happy to have you back in the game, right, guys?
Thanks, Kiki. Laura Horvath and Danielle Brandon, the first 2 to the handstand walk. Ariel Lowe in there as well. And Danielle Brandon is starting to open up a lead on Horvath as now Lowen is moving past the 2-time Rogue Invitational champion. Brandon done with the first of 4 lengths, makes the return trip, and she's right back to work. Lowen and Horvath getting to work at the same time now as the rest of the field is pretty much on to that handstand walk. Everyone done with those 160 double unders. There's Danielle Brandon.
Yeah, folks, and if you're taking notes at home and want to know how to handstand walk a little bit better, stack your hips on top of your shoulders like Danielle Brandon does. If you break at the knee, not at the hip. Don't overarch. Don't look too far out in front of your hands. We're going to see some differences happening in fatigue, and that's going to lead to slowing for some of these other women. Danielle does a great job at staying stacked as we're watching her navigate this floor effortlessly, one hand in front of the other.
This is her 6th appearance at the Rogue Invitational. Her best finish, it's her only 2 finishes inside the top 10. Came in back-to-back years, 9th in 2022 and then 7th in 2023. She does have 1 event win in her career here at this competition, and right now leading here in the 2nd and final heat. The time to beat belongs to Paige Rogers, 9:32.6 seconds. This is the final trip now for Rogers back down the floor as Horvath on the left and Lowen on the right are fighting for 2nd place behind Brandon.
And I like here what Ariel even did with that decision, Sean. You know, she was watching Laura. She was like, I'm just going to stay right by where this girl is. I'm going to make sure that I keep my distance.
GHD sit-ups, so looking to hit the 72 rep mark is Danielle Brandon as they got 1 rep for each length of the floor on the handstand walk. Lowen also to work on the GHDs, and now Laura Horvath as well. The top 3 women in this heat really starting to separate themselves from the pack.
They're going to go rep for rep for the most part here on these GHDs. I don't see anything different on the cycle rate that leads us to believe otherwise, but this is only going to be, again, they're trying to conserve what energy they can for the log as they know that'll be their chance to make moves.
Alexis Raptis in the all-black on the right side is finished up. She'll start her 60 GHD sit-ups. Alex Gazan and Brooke Wells will join the rest of the field on the GHDs. Maddie Surt, Manon Anganez, and Emily Rolfe still on the competition floor, closing out their 80-meter handstand walks. And now Danielle Brandon continues the lead onto the box jump overs. 40 reps here. Ariel Lowen has a couple rep lead on Laura Horvath on the GHDs. The 112 rep mark on the scoreboard is when Danielle Brandon will advance to those 16.
Yeah, and that's what we want. That's what they need early on from a whole field of competitors to create barriers to accumulation of points for Laura. You do that by beating her in workouts.
Emma Lawson is now on to the box jump overs as Brandon gets to work on her 16 log muscle ups. This is the battle for second place behind Brandon. Lowen on the left and Horvath on the right. The 128 is the score that Danielle Brandon needs to hit before she makes her way to the finish line.
Keep her hands on the log. She's going to work through these 16 pretty steadily.
5 reps left for Brandon. Laura Horvath onto the log. Now Brandon on pace to win the event here.
Yeah, making a tremendous statement to start this weekend. I mean, very minimal change of direction. We're watching her body language. She's smooth over the log, using a big swing, minimal kip. It's getting the job done for her.
1 rep remaining for Danielle Brandon, looking to pick up her second career event win at the Rogue Invitational. And she is going to do it. Danielle Brandon, 100 points in a victory in Nessie. 8
Intentional pacing play out for all these athletes. Are they going too soon? Are they waiting too long? An athlete like Emma Lawson has really paced this entire event only to this point. Now to start to push her threshold. If she's timed it just right, she's going to have an opportunity to be top 3 here.
She has a chance to push Lowen now for second place. It's a rep behind Ariel Lowen. Lowen's got 4 remaining. Lawson's got 5. Now Maddie Sturt and Alice Gazan have moved ahead of Laura Horvath. So our 2-time champ starting to fade here. Competition or coronation? Well, early on here in 2025, this is definitely a competition. Laura Horvath starting to fall back here in the pack, and some of those times from the first heat are going to factor in as Rogers is going to wind up with a second place finish in this event out of heat number 1. And here comes Ariel Lowen. And that will be good enough for 3rd place in the event, 10:08.78 seconds. Lawson is now done. Gazan is finished as well. And I don't think Lawson sees her. Ooh, and Lawson just made the touch ahead of Gazan. What a charge from Gazan. Maddie Sturt is in.
Big push and charge there from Maddie Sturt after those handstand walks. And this is where you think about being a fierce competitor, sometimes coming to bite you. Because had Laura paced just a little bit earlier, now granted, she's a champ here, only one of 2. Her and Tia-Claire Toomey, the only 2 that have worn the crown at the Rogue Invitational, so she's going to come out with that hungry mentality no matter what. But a little bit more control early in this event, maybe her final time plays out a little bit more towards the top.
Now Laura Horvath is done. Good news for her, this should be good enough for 7th place in the event. So another top 10 finish. Leaves Alexis Raptis as a leader on the floor. She has 3 reps remaining, 16-minute time cap, so 4.5 minutes to go before we hit that. Raptis is up and over.
Raptis, one of those athletes, Sean, that we know has the fitness, and we've seen her compete for years, has been operating a little bit under injury. She's recovering from some back issues that she had last year, and it's great to see her out there healthy and ready to compete.
She had to withdraw the last 2 times that she qualified for the Rogue Invitational in 2023 and 2024, but when she was healthy in 2022 and competed at this event, she finished in 8th place overall, and now Raptis is in just over the 12-minute mark.
And Ganesh, one of those athletes that has been here several times. She's been able to experience this log. It's wonder, we should ask them, how have you simulated the log in training? What are you doing to try to gather your experience at home?
I know Anganese with 1 rep left here. She is up and over him and on Anganese. Well inside the 16-minute time gap.
And I'm feeling the coordination. Dark to light, light to dark. Got the switch, see what she's doing there with the hair and the shoes.
Got it dialed in.
Yeah, man. If you
Earlier this year.
It's the time that they take between these singles that lets you know how they're feeling and the familiarity they have with this movement. Everybody's broken all the reps in these women heats. It's just about how long do you take between your next attempt. Brooke's reps get really hard because of how far she pulls herself forward underneath that log. We've seen athletes have more success. How Emily Rolfe is trying to work through them where they just swing from behind it instead of redirect themselves. Watch Brooke pull her chest forward really hard there. And sometimes that pulls your hands down just a little bit more on that log. Emily's swinging that leg back, swinging through.
Less than 2 minutes to go before we hit the time cap. Rolfe is struggling on these reps. He's got 8 remaining. Wells has 6 left.
That was a great make there by Brooke. That feeling of urgency where you feel like you might not make it. She was able to strength it over right over top.
Good rep for Emily Rolfe there on the right side as Brooke Wells has got 5 left. And that will do it for Nessie. Danielle Brandon, 8:27.96 seconds. You mentioned Brandon, the only two to go sub 10. Ariel Lowen's results good enough for 3rd place, and